Hi there. Here we are, hopefully trying to get that to be a little better for you. There you go. All right, so here we are, chapter 13. Basically, what's going to happen to your business when you're ready to move on. You're going to sell it, you're going to go public, you're going to, what are you going to do? So what we're going to talk about, you need to have some sort of exit plan. You always need an exit plan. Why you need to consider it. Steps for selling a business, how you determine what the value is, preparing the business for sale, excuse me, looking for buyers, negotiating sales, how to turn around a business in decline, and implications and issues involved in closing a business. So why consider an exit or a harvest now in the beginning? Because you need to know basically where you want to take your business. So you want to decide, again, we talked earlier about having a partnership or working with other people, and you want to make sure that you get things ironed out, just like we had the partnership agreement. You want to make sure that in the articles of incorporation, all that kind of thing, you want to make sure you have some sort of plan to how you're going to get out of the business before it starts, because sometimes when the time to get out of the business occurs, tensions could be high, there could be personality clashes, you could have a lot of stress. And so you want to be able to come up with some sort of something so that when things get rough, you can look at them if there's some rational document there. So there could be reasons for it. Maybe it's successful, but it's no longer interesting for you, or you're no longer enjoying it, you want to do something else. There's another opportunity out there for you, and maybe the viability of the business changes because of changing market conditions. So you want to have some sense of the value of the business, and then you need to prepare the business to be sold in terms of getting the books in order and making sure that you have a good hold on your customer base and all that kind of thing. And then you're going to negotiate the actual selling of the business. So you want to determine, this is where the financing and understanding your financial records, that kind of thing, is so important. That the value is where you're going to start. The value of the business is going to start, is where you're going to start with the negotiations. And you always want to start above what the value is. You want to start with a higher value than what you're hoping to get. Basically, you want to put it for a higher amount of money than what you're willing to accept. So all new businesses are private businesses, and they want to be able to maximize the most opportunity for the owners, and you want to make sure that you understand what is it that the benefits that are going to be paid for to people, and you also have to look at taxes. Sometimes taxes can be misleading. So private firms are valued a little differently. There might be, we talked about future value of money, all that kind of thing. What are the assets worth? What's the value of the market? That kind of thing. And then you also have to have some sort of understanding of the future value. So looking at things, we talked about those pro forma business models, that what's going to be, what's in it for the buyer in 5 years down the road. So this, again, these are things that when the time comes, you will work with a professional someone who's, you know, a professional in the field that will come up with these figures. But just so you know that, again, these are just terms that you really should know about, but you want to make sure that, you know, what is that's what is pro forma bank statements or pro forma financial statements are so important, so that you can tell, you know, to sort of do the best you can to predict the future. And again, we talked about the ratios before. What is, you know, what the profit ratio, that kind of thing. And you might also look at other businesses. You know, we don't really need to go into too much detail, but asset valuation is very important in terms of hard assets, but also the goodwill of the business as well. So again, you're going to be able to, this kind of, really kind of what it comes down to with all these things is that you want to make sure that your records are in good shape, and that you can somehow determine what the future, in terms of the goodwill of the company and the reputation of the company and the value of its intellectual property, any patents you have or copyrights, that kind of thing, that you understand that you can, you know, what's it going to be worth to someone else. So some is, you know, you can go through the market estimation. It's taking the earnings of the business and multiplying it by the market premium of other companies in the industry. It's the easiest way to do it. And if it's a publicly traded company, you can use stock prices. So you need to have some level of consistency in determining what it is, understanding what your competitive advantages are, and how you are in comparison to your competitors. So you want to make sure that you prepare the business for sale, and having a transition plan is very important. Again, you should work with a CPA, a certified public accountant, to come up with audited financial statements and have a professional opinion as to the financial health of the organization. And again, it depends upon what kind of company you have, and you want to make sure that you have as much documentation as possible. So you can sell the business intact to a third party, or you can sell the business to a competitor or a larger business, or you can sell portions of the business and keep other portions of the business. Or another option is to do an initial public offering, which is when you offer stocks for sale to the general public. So you can put the business, once you get the word out, you can use a variety of different things. You can hire a business broker. You can ask a competitor if they're interested in buying your business. You can let your accountant or your lawyer know, and they might know people who are interested in buying a business, and they can put you in touch with them, particularly if you work with an attorney or an accountant who works specifically with other businesses in your industry. And also, you also might want to talk to your suppliers and your other significant clients, because again, they might know people in a similar industry. So negotiation is very important, and it's, you know, what is it that both sides are looking for? It's important that you use a different advisor than the person who's buying your business. Although you want to work together, you are to a certain extent, I don't want to say adversaries, but you know, you're both looking for the best deal. So another option is you want to turn around a declining business, which could happen maybe for a variety of reasons. Your business might be having financial problems. It could be the industry. It could be maybe you lost a large client. Maybe, you know, a competitor is taking over. So basically the most important thing you want to do is get a hold of your cash flow as quickly as possible. As we talked about before, cash flow is the best way to determine the viability and health of an organization. And you need to really go in and do an honest audit as to why the business is declining. And if there are some strategic problems, it could be the organizational structure, it could be the products, it could be a variety of different things that you need to figure out exactly what the root cause is. And sometimes these are ugly conversations and difficult conversations, but it's the only way you're going to be able to diagnose the problem. And you want to find as many creative solutions as possible without just, throwing your hands up. There could be a variety of different ways to save your business. So if push comes to shove, the worst thing that can happen is you go through bankruptcy. There are a variety of different types of bankruptcy. Again, we talk about this in Business Law 2. Chapter 11 allows for reorganization. And Chapter 7 is used when a company just closes completely. Chapter 11 allows you to stay open while you're trying to reorganize it. Chapter 7 is you just close completely. 12 is for family farming businesses. 13 is for sole proprietors. But again, these are all things that your attorney an accountant will advise you on. And what kind of business, the form of business you choose, sole proprietorship or corporation partnership, are all going to have an impact on how you're going to end the business. Not necessarily something you really want to talk about. It's not a good topic, but it's an important topic so that you can understand, what the best and the most profitable and least stressful way is to organize it. As we talked about before too, a lot of times when you have a partnership, the partnership is established just for a certain period of time, and you will know when that partnership is ready to be dissolved, and it's all taken care of. Those issues are all taken care of in the partnership agreement. Okay, thanks.